First of all, I just want to give a round of applause for this amazing, beautiful memorial. Will you join me? Maybe you know the story from C.S. Lewis where he takes us into Aslan's story in The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. And we fast forward through the scene where we have met this incredible lion named Aslan. And Aslan is an amazing leader. He's an incredible leader. And at the end of the movie, they say he's not a tame lion, but he is good. And he has power, and he has love, all wrapped up in that mighty roar. So the queen comes to Aslan, and she says, "You know the rules. You know what the law says about the traitor. His life is void, his blood belongs to me." And what does Aslan, this sacrificial leader, do? He goes and he makes a deal with the queen, his life for Edmund's. And the queen is ecstatic. She thinks she has won, and she is ready to take over Narnia. And they bind him, and they beat him, and they strip him of his glorious mane. The queen whispers into his ear, "You think that you have won. Narnia is mine tomorrow." And then she plunges that spear into his heart. And your heart sinks, and you feel all of the reality of what he has given. And Susan and Lucy are watching. And when all of the evil hordes clear out, they go to minister to his lost body. And I couldn't help but remember cradling Micah's head in the hospital and his lost body, and sitting with him after he was gone and recognizing the sacrifice and the love that he had shown for his fellow officers, for his community. And I know that I'm not the only one sitting here who has done that, who has cradled their lost loved one after they have given the ultimate sacrifice. I know that there are men and women sitting among me who watched their comrades die. And we sit in this point of time, in that place of pain, in the story of the Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, and our lives here today. And this memorial, while stunningly, achingly beautiful, is hauntingly painful at the same time, as it commemorates that moment when we lost our officers. And I am standing here looking at men and women who have watched their beloved fall, and yet they must carry the charge. With the grief in your heart, with the reality of that loss, you still put on that uniform today. You still put on your badge, you picked up your gun, and you got in the fight. And I just want to say I see that in your heart, because that is courage. That is heroism. That is the same heroism in you that we see in these men and women commemorated in this granite. That heart beats in you. And I challenge all of you to keep up the good work, to continue the fight. But I want to say to you that the story isn't over, that we have that same promise in the Lion of Judah, in the Lamb that was slain, that when we believe on the Lord Jesus Christ, we will be saved and we will see our loved ones in heaven. This isn't over. This isn't the end of the story. We do not grieve like people without hope, because we know that the Lord goes to prepare a place for us. And that's why we have courage to fight. That's why we have courage to put on the uniform, to put on the badge, and to go into the darkest places with the worst people on their worst day and fight is because this is not the end of the story. We are not finished. The true hero's heart lives. Romans 5:7-8 says, "Very rarely will anyone die for a righteous person, though for a good person someone might possibly dare to die." I know it's so easy to be cynical, and us most of all, the survivors most of all, because there were traitors who took our beloved's lives. But they have shown us the power of love in the human heart. Romans 5:8 says, "But God demonstrates his own love for us in this, while we were sinners, Christ died for us." And we have that life in us, the power of Christ. And that's what gives us strength to carry on. That's what gives us strength to stand and to fight. That's what gives us strength to heal and to see this beautiful place as a place of heroism and hope. Thank you.